Gurukulians. So today we will continue with the chapter which we were doing, that is chapter 17, Human Intervention in Natural Phenomena. If you remember, last time we were discussing the topic deforestation. Okay, we have discussed about the various causes for which deforestation occurs. That is, we have discussed about natural causes, floods, droughts, storms and all, okay, and the man-made causes, right? So we have discussed the man-made causes like commercial logging, mining, agriculture, harvesting firewood, grazing, rapid urbanization, right? So we have discussed all the points of human intervention because of which deforestation occurs, right? Now today we will discuss about our main topic to discuss will be impacts of deforestation, right? So today we are going to discuss this topic mainly, impacts of deforestation. Impact means now deforestation has occurred. So what are going to be the after effects of deforestation, right? After effect means once it has occurred, now what will happen? Now how the humans or other species, okay, and about the other natural disasters, what can happen in the environment because of this deforestation. That's what we are going to discuss today. So let's start with impacts of deforestation. The very first point that it can lead to, it is habitat loss, right? So if deforestation is there, it will lead to habitat loss. Habitat loss means the organisms or the species of animals which survive in the forest, okay, their homes will be lost, okay. Habitat means their home where they used to survive, that is lost, because if once the forest has lost, that means their home is no more, okay. So what will happen? They will start migrating to some other areas. Now the question is, how many species will affect by this deforestation, okay. Yes, just see, 2/3 of Earth's biodiversity, 2/3 of Earth's biodiversity exists in forest actually, okay. So whatever Earth's biodiversity we are having, as many number of species we are having, out of that 2 out of 3, 2/3 means 2 parts out of 3 parts is living in forest where they will find their habitat lost, okay. So that means it will this deforestation will lead to the habitat loss of 2/3 of biodiversity, of Earth's biodiversity. Now you can see the impact. If biodiversity will be lost, what will happen? Food chain will be disturbed. Again, it will be difficult for us to survive, okay, because of the loss of forest. So it's very important for afforestation, for planting the trees again, okay, and for reforestation, which we will discuss in the next topic, that how we can conserve the forest, how we can again regenerate the forest, okay. So we will discuss that later. But firstly, let's see the first topic. First point is habitat loss. Now what other effect could be? Depletion of resources. Depletion of resources could occur because of deforestation. Now what does this depletion mean? Depletion means, we can say, if one thing is depleted, that means it is we are getting shortage of that thing each and every day, okay. So if forests are not there, resources, lack of resources will be there. What kind of resources we are talking about here in deforestation? That is the resources which we get from forest. Obviously will fall shortage of that, that is food, fodder, timber, okay, food, fodder, timber. So all these resources, or we can say it's also firewood and medicines, firewood and medicines. These are actually the resources which we get from forest. Okay, so if there are no forest, what will happen? We will fall shortage of food. There will be no food for us, no food for animals, right? Then fooder. Fooder means food of animals. Okay, like if somebody is having livestock at their homes, if they are having livestock means to keep some domestic animals at home which can give you some milk or something like that kind of food. Okay, so if they are also, their food is also getting shortage, their food means like if no forest is there, no grass is there, okay, no branches are there, no wood is there which they used to eat. Okay, so the food of animals, we will get deprived of that. Then next, timber, that is the part which is used in making furniture. Okay, firewood, again that the villages or the rural areas people used to use for cooking and for heating their homes. And then last, medicines. Okay, if no forest, we will not have medicines and we will not have panacea. What do you mean by panacea? Sanjeevani, you know, that is jadi booty. Okay, so we will fall shortage of medicines too. Now the next is, what other could happen? Changes in soil properties and soil erosion. Now, how the soil erosion can occur because of deforestation? See, there is one important properties of trees, that is, trees, what they do, they just, the roots of trees bind the soil together. Okay, again listen carefully. The roots of trees, if trees are there, the roots are there, and that root of tree binds the soil together. That means it helps to keep the soil back and it binds the soil together. Okay, so that means it will not be left exposed, it will not be washed away with wind or water easily, because the roots of trees hold the soil. But if there are no trees, what will happen? No roots to hold the soil, and the soil that will run easily, or that will be exposed easily by the wind and water. Means wind and water, water means rainwater we are talking about, wind and rainwater, that will blow away easily the soil with itself. Okay, so it will, that loss of soil, if the soil is getting blown away, what will happen? This loss of soil will occur, which is known as soil erosion, right? So what is soil erosion? Soil erosion means loss of soil. And next, what other impact could be? If the loss is, if there is a loss of soil, that means fertile land will change into desert. Okay, see carefully, fertile land, because of this loss of soil, the fertile land will change into desert. And what this process known as? Fertile land into desert, this process known as desertification, right? So we call it desertification. Desertification means the land, the fertile land is getting changed into deserts slowly, right? So that means because of deforestation, the properties can be changed and the soil erosion can occur, which further can lead to desertification. Now, what do you mean by soil properties will get changed? Is there any property which we have talked about? Yes. What can happen? Because of this loss of soil, the nutrients of the soil, nutrient of soil may get changed. Okay, and next is water holding capacity of the soil. This is also one of the physical property of the soil, that is water holding capacity. Water holding capacity of the soil will be changed. So that means ultimately it will lead to soil change in soil properties and soil erosion, right? So then there are further two more points. Let me make you revise again. Impacts of deforestation, habitat loss, depletion of resources, and changes in soil properties and soil erosion can occur. Now, what are the left 2 points? Yes, let's discuss the 4th and 5th point. That is, what else could happen because of deforestation? The 4th point is landslides and floods. Landslides and floods. Now, what do we mean by landslides and floods? If there is no roots of trees to hold the soil, what can happen? Actually, when rain comes, what is there? When rain comes, when the trees are there, the water flows slowly, okay? But if there are no forest, there are no trees to check the flow of water. Check means here we are talking about controlling, okay? Trees control the flow of water, means if trees are there, water will flow slowly, okay? So it will not lead to floods, it will not lead to landslides. But if deforestation has occurred, because of that deforestation, what will happen? No trees will be there to check the flow of water. So water will flow rapidly, okay? It will flow the mountain slopes rapidly, wash away the soil along with it, and it will fill the water bodies rapidly, which will lead to floods, right? So what we can say, trees check the flow of water, right? But if no trees are there, no roots are there, no trees are there, there will be no check on flow of water, and water moves rapidly down the mountain slopes, and will fill the water bodies, and what will happen after it will fill the water bodies? It will lead to floods, okay? And also moreover, landslides can take place. Now 5th point, what else can happen? The very important issue, the very important concern which we all are suffering from, that is global warming. The main concern is global warming can occur. Global warming. If deforestation is there, if we are cutting the trees for our own benefit, what will happen? If there are no trees, that means in the environment there is nobody to take the carbon dioxide which is getting released by the burning of fossil fuels, okay? So what I mean to say, suppose we are burning fossil fuels, okay? Pollution is there, much carbon dioxide is there, okay? If trees are also there, that carbon dioxide will be taken by the trees for their photosynthesis process and the balance will be maintained, okay? But if no trees are there, see how this imbalance will be created. No trees are there, that means imbalancing between the level of carbon dioxide and oxygen. That means more carbon dioxide will be there and no trees are there. They are not giving O2. They are not giving much O2, but yes, they are not even taking our carbon dioxide, okay? What will happen? Much carbon dioxide will increase in the atmosphere. That means level of carbon dioxide will increase, okay? And if this level of carbon dioxide will increase, what is the property of carbon dioxide gas? It traps the sun's heat easily, okay? And when it will trap the sun's heat, it will lead to global warming, right? It will lead to global warming. Further, what can happen? When global warming is there, that means again the rainfall pattern and all those patterns will be changed. So that means there is a change in climate. So this global warming will lead to climate change. And if the climate change is there, what it can result in? It can result in natural disasters. Or if there is climate change, the food chain will be disturbed. Food chain will be disturbed because many species will not be able to survive under that climate which is not suitable. Okay, so those species will start dying. That means again it will be impossible for us to survive, right? So this is how it happens, how the impacts of deforestation takes place, how it takes its toll on our physical and mental health. Okay, our survival becomes impossible because of the various reasons, that habitat loss is there, okay, depletion of resources is there, changes in soil properties and soil erosion, and then next is landslides and floods, and last is global warming. Okay, so this global warming is responsible for melting of ice at the poles of the earth. Again, if there is much melting, then what will happen? The level of sea will rise and we all will be sink under water and we will start dying, right? So our survival again, it will be impossible. So these all are the impacts of deforestation. Next time we will talk about the ways to conserve deforestation, to conserve forest. Okay, how we can conserve forest, how we can replenish them back. So these all these points we will discuss in our next lecture. For the time being,